Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Super Mega Riftbound Podcast, your new home for news, strategy, and everything else in Riot's brand new card game, Riftbound. My name is Eli, also go by Battle Tested. That's my Riot ID, and I'm joined here by Teddy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Teddy. As Eli said, my Riot ID is LMTDY. It's an abbreviation off my Twitter handle, Limited Teddy. And this is our episode 0. Before we jump into the deep end, we wanted to introduce ourselves, explain why we're doing this, and what this show is all going to be about. Welcome in, everyone. Episode 0 of Super Mega Riftbound Podcast. We are super excited to have you. As you guys heard in our intro, my name's Teddy. I'm joined by Eli. We have about 5 segments for you guys today. Not going to be long, going to be a few minutes each, just kind of get you guys our toes dipped in the water, get a little used to this podcasting thing for Riftbound. This first segment is going to be ourselves introducing ourselves. Eli, you want to tell our lovely listeners, our first-time listeners, who you are?
Yeah, so my name is Eli. I've been a competitive card game player for 15 to 17 years now. Started with the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Stay away from that one, let me tell you. But we are here now in the Riftbound community. Very excited to be creating content for this game. I've been a long-time League of Legends player. I casted some games in League of Legends semi-professionally as well. Always loved the IP, so when Riot said they were coming out with this, I had to jump all in as soon as possible. Very excited to be doing this podcast with you, Teddy. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my experience with League is actually nothing. I never played League, so this game, I saw it when it came out, right when it was revealed as Project K and like that whole thing. I'm like, well, this looks cool. I initially saw it as a multiplayer game, like, ooh, I don't know about that. And then I soon learned that it wasn't going to be only a multiplayer game. But who am I? I am a college student. I have been playing trading card games ever since middle school, about 10 years or so. Just a little bit of less experience than Eli there. I played Pokemon. I went from that to Larcana. I took a year off from trading card games. Junior year of college. It's not easy. And then I am back here for Riftbound. I'm super excited. Type of player I am, I don't really know what type of player I am. I just like to play fun decks.
You like to play fun decks?
Yes.
Listen, I'm the same way, Teddy. I like playing my rogue stuff as much
as the next
guy.
It's so fun.
That was my jam back in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Luckily, there's a lot of options with all the champions in the game for this one.
Yeah, I'm like super excited. With 15 champions, right? Is that the number? I'm
pretty sure 15 in the first set, and then many more coming in the next set as well. I think you have 12 or 13 revealed so far.
I know. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, that's who we are. We're going to jump into our next segment right now.
Our second segment here is going to be why this podcast is going to exist in the first place. And I hit on it a little bit in our last segment, but we're just both really passionate about card games. We want to foster a community, and we really want to make things happen, especially when it comes to Riftbound. Teddy, you were the one who approached me with the idea to make the podcast. Why do you think that you had that idea in the first place?
Well, for those who may not maybe listening to us for the first time, I had a podcast back in Larcana. I was part of the Glimmer Gang podcast. And it was just, I loved being able to dive deep into content, record, talk about that game every week. I think it's really what made me fall in love with the game. Was I started that podcast a couple months after the game was announced at D23 all the way back in 2022, 2023, somewhere around there. 2022, actually, yes. So I made a podcast in that game early on, and I enjoyed it. So that's when I'm like, okay, Eli's very energetic. We met at League. We played each other in Larcana multiple times.
Yep.
So I knew of him we're both from Indianapolis. I'm not from Indianapolis, but we both live in Indianapolis now. And so that was kind of the whole reason. It's like, I love card games. Cool guy. Why not talk about it and try to have some fun while doing it?
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute blast. I'm super excited that you invited me to join this project. The podcast is existing from your brain, but now that both of us are together, it's really a powerhouse of ideas coming through. So I'm very excited to see what the future holds for us. And we might even dive into what the future is going to hold in a future segment coming up on the show. So stick around.
All right. So what is this podcast going to be? We just kind of touched on it, but we want to go a little bit more into depth on like segment ideas we've had, everything that we've kind of talked about before the first episode airs. And kind of what we thought about the 4 main things we have. Weekly meta updates. We know there are a bunch of content creators that do this. That's kind of what's going to happen in a content space. We still want to give you guys updates, and we're going to do that when we think it's necessary. Going to talk about, obviously, these big events. We have a lot of big events coming up, so we want to talk about those. Any news, anything that Riot talks about. If we see some cards that we're like, oh yes, we want to talk about that, then we're going to bring that up in the podcast. Community centric segments we've talked about, like I just talked about. We want to bring the community into this show and be able to have you guys as a part of it as well. And also lots of guests. That's our hope. After we get our feet off the ground after our first few episodes, we're going to start bringing in guests, be able to talk to people about this game. But yeah, Eli, talk to us a little bit more in depth about what we're going to be talking about just as the podcast as a whole.
Yeah, so the thing that I really want to touch on from what you just said, Teddy, is that community-centric segments and bringing on a lot of guests. I think talking about this game is something that we all hold in common as a community, right? We're passionate about it. We want to talk about it, and we want to hear different people's opinions and takes on it. So all of those things are going to come together and form a really solid basis for this podcast. But we're going to be nothing without community support and community input. We want to know what you guys want from the show. We want to know what interests you, your cool deck ideas, what might engage you more. All of those things are super important for us for the long term of this podcast, because we don't want to just do this for us. We want to do this for the community. So, hey, let us know down in the comments, on TikTok, on Reddit. We'll be on all the social media platforms, anywhere you can contact us.
Everything's going to be linked down below.
Everything will be linked down below, and we are ready to hear what you guys want from this podcast.
So what can you guys expect from us? This show is going to evolve as this game evolves. We're getting in on day 0. So when there's a new set, we'll be there to cover it. And when there's a big event, we'll also be there to talk about the results from it.
We really are just pumped to share this with all of you guys. Teddy and I are fully committed to making this podcast the best possible experience it can be. Riftbound's going to be here for a long time, and we're going to be here right along with it. All right, guys. As we start to wrap this up, thank you for joining us on this episode 0. We are pumped to really experience this with you, and you're not going to have to wait long. Our episode 1 is actually coming out next week on Saturday. It's Houston Regional Weekend. Very exciting time to be a Riftbound player, and we are going to be right here on this podcast to cover everything leading up to that. Teddy, why don't you take us to the outro here?
Yeah, here we go. Our first outro of the episode feels cool.
I know, so
feels
exciting.
Nice. But yeah, like Eli said, our first podcast episode, actually. This is our first video, technically.
Yeah.
Our first podcast episode. It's coming out next Saturday. It'll be everything you need to know about Houston, kind of prep you. If you are going, you can listen to it while you're preparing for the day. And if you're not, listen to it before coverage starts. But yeah. If you guys want anything from our other socials, Eli is the manager of all of our short form content. So you have a TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, possibly Facebook Reels in the future. Learn everything you need to know in a shorter, condensed format. And then our socials are also down below if you want to follow us. But yeah, that was episode 0, the beginning of the Super Mega Riftbound podcast. We are super happy that you all joined us, and we can't wait for the future. Eli, it was a pleasure to talk to you. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys next time.